What's going on, y'all? It's Cameron back with another video, and I want to take y'all a little behind the scenes of me doing a Valentine's Day shoot. And in the title, I said it's a tough Valentine's Day shoot because not every photographer is going to run into an issue like this. But well, I wouldn't even call it an issue, just a unique situation like this. But one of the clients, the wife, is actually deaf, was born deaf, and so I'm gonna have to use my minimal sign language speaking skills in order to direct her through like the posing and everything like that. And actually, funny enough, I say clients, but it's my brother and my sister-in-law. So I learned a little bit ASL from her, but I'm by no means fluent. He's more fluent than I am, but it's still going to be kind of tricky because, you know, I'm going to want to be able to just say like, hey, put your hand here, put your hand there, or, you know, whatever, and can't do that because obviously she can't hear me. So it's going to be that whole thing like that. But anywho, and I see why people say like you need a good tripod, because I got this thing like kind of jimmy rigged up in the car, and it is like not stable at all. And it doesn't help that my roads are very much not okay, but that's what happens when you drive through the hood. You know, you're just not going to have like ample driving roads or whatever. So I'm in Durham, North Carolina currently, but the photo shoot is happening in Raleigh, North Carolina at a place called Lafayette Village, or Little Alpha Tower. So if you are in or have been to Raleigh, North Carolina, you probably know a little bit about Lafayette Village and Little Alpha Tower. I have never been there before, so it's my first time going. And you probably hear this music so loud and this wind so loud right now. So I'll wait. Of course, when I want to do a video, this motorcycle wants to be all big and bad and try and say like, hey, I'm better than you because I got a motorcycle and I can play my music loud. Anywho, so going down here, Raleigh, North Carolina, do this shoot with my brother and my sister-in-law. And so you just follow me behind the scenes, and I'm just gonna kind of show you how I do my shoot with, you know, having to finagle around, you know, sign language and stuff like that. And Lafayette Village is a really cool place. It is full of a bunch of shops, and like I said, Little Alpha Tower is there, and people just go there just to kind of hang out and chill and whatever. And you know, today is a good day for people to be out because even though it's February in North Carolina, and my city right now is 70 degrees, so global warming, I guess, is like a real thing. But yeah, it's hot outside right now. So I got my AC on low because I'm trying to not have it show up in the audio like a little humming, but I'm definitely gonna have to put some noise isolation on this. But with that being said, not gonna hold you on a little longer. Enjoy the behind the scenes, and I guess enjoy a little bit of this music you're getting. I hope it doesn't copyright. But yeah, so enjoy the behind the scenes, and let's go.
Okay, so I just wanted to do a little voiceover of the session because I was gonna have my audio in here and have a lavalier clipped to my shirt so y'all can hear everything I'm saying as far as posing goes and what I'm telling the couple, but I forgot my lavalier microphone at home, so joy to me. So I'm just doing a little voiceover. So here, you always want to start off the couple with just a warm-up. So this is just a basic pose that I had them doing in front of the Eiffel Tower, which is out of frame. But it's always good to warm up your couples to the shoot. And even though this is my brother and my sister-in-law and they're already pretty comfortable with me, still they probably have never done like an official photo shoot before. So I wanted to warm them up, do something very, very basic. And as you see, I'm standing in the middle of the road, so there's cars coming everywhere. But this allows them to get more comfortable with posing. And one of the main things that I've learned as far as posing goes is that if it's on their body and is able to be bent, bend it. So right here, you see her, well, after she does this whole thing, you see her left arm is straight. That arm can easily be bent. And right here, actually, I'm telling her to look at a specific branch. because a lot of times when you tell the model or tell whoever it is that you're talking to look in a certain direction, sometimes they don't always look exactly where you want them to look. So it's always good to give them something specific to look at. A lot of times, if there's like a key light or something like that outside, the photographer would tell them to look at a specific point. So they'll put like a piece of tape in the light and say, hey, look at this piece of tape, so that their head and that the shadows and everything will be evened out throughout the entire picture and throughout their entire face and stuff like that. So that's just a little tidbit, but like I was saying earlier, if it's able to be bend it. So her left arm is kind of just sitting there, kind of hanging out, which I could have did a better job in telling her to do something specific with that. And so now we're going over some more poses. She came prepared. She brought a bunch of poses that she wanted to try. And I was like, oh, dope. Like, you came with a plan. Because photographers all the time, like, yeah, we come with poses and things in mind, but I always love giving the couple their creative side also. So if they want to say, hey, I want to try this pose in specific, okay, go ahead, cool, let's try it and let's see how it goes. So she came, I think it was Pinterest. She came with a bunch of different poses and was just like, hey, I want to try this one. And I said, okay, cool. Then let's get it. Let's do it. So I'll let y'all enjoy the rest of this clip, and then I'll do a little voiceover on the next clip. Thank you for being here. Okay, I know I said I was going to wait to the next clip, but I changed my mind. So right here, I'm staggering them. And staggering a couple is always, in my opinion, super cool, because you get a certain and unique look about the pose, I guess you can say, and I think it's super cool. And then you can have the models do a bunch of different things and have them look a bunch of different ways, and whatever, just be creative. So here I have her in front and I have her looking off into the distance, and I have him looking at her. And this is one of those things where it's kind of like, okay, the guy, so my brother, is admiring her, and then she's just kind of like, yeah, like, I'm here, I'm doing a thing, you know what I mean? So I thought that was pretty cool. And as this goes on, of course, I'm posting some finished results on here. And so every time you stagger also, you're always going to want to stop down on your f-stop. So you're not going to want to shoot at 1.8 or 2.8. You don't want to shoot wide open, because it's only going to focus on the subject that's right in front. The depth of field is not going to be great at all. So stop down to like 4.5, maybe 5, something like that, so you can get a greater depth of field, so you can get both of them in focus. And then at the end, you saw I showed them the results. As the shoot goes on, you're going to want to show the couple the results, because you want to give them something to be excited about at the end. So if they are looking through the photos as the shoot goes on, now I'm not saying like after every single picture show them, but like here I went from one location to another and just showing them the pictures there, sees them, or that gives them something to be excited about. They're like, oh, okay, I like these pictures, like I can't wait to see the finished product. And so now they're even more so bought in to the shoot. So here I'm trying to switch her and switch him and trying to get the look I'm going for. So actually a lot of the poses that I'm using in this set I got from a photographer down in Florida called Ream Photography, Kareem Virgo, and he's a world-renowned photographer, and he puts on for the city, that's for sure. His behind the scenes weddings and engagement shoots, I learned a lot from him, and I feel that a lot of the stuff that he did, I'm like, okay, I can incorporate that into my own stuff, but kind of like make it my own. I don't want to imitate exactly, but I want it to be inspired by what he did. And so I basically was inspired by his poses and just implementing them into this one here. So with that being said, I'm gonna stop talking, let you enjoy, let you see what's working and whatever, and then I'll come back in a little bit. Okay, as you can see, we are at a new location, kind of. We're in the same Lafayette Village. We're still next to the little Eiffel Tower. But that's one thing that you can do is just maximize the space that you're in. This Lafayette Village is not big by any means. It's just kind of like a corner on a road, and it's just not a whole lot going on inside. It's just not really very big. But there's so many things you can do if you really dive into your creative bag of like, okay, I want to maximize these locations that I'm in. What can I do, or like how can I position them? So right here, there's just a little bar area outside one of the shops, and I said, okay, let's sit here, and I'm gonna stand off to the side, and we're gonna work it this way. And what one of the big things is that you just want to make sure the background's clear, unless you're an expert in Photoshop and you can take all the people out. You want to make sure there's not really much going on behind them, so you have a clear shot every single time. Now, this is one of those things where, like I said before, if you stagger them, you're going to want to stop down to like a 4.5 or around there, so both of them are in focus. Here, I believe I was shooting wide open at 1.8. I'm shooting on my 50 millimeter 1.8 right now, and no, I changed. I'm on my 28 millimeter 2.8 actually, and I think I was shooting wide open at 2.8. Nope, I lied again. I was on my 28 at first, but now I'm on my 50. So 50 millimeter 1.8. It is, yes, 50 millimeter 1.8. So I was shooting wide open at 1.8 because they're right next to each other, so depth of field doesn't have to be super deep. So that way I can shoot at 1.8. Shutter speed probably was like 250 to 400, somewhere around there. And ISO was at 100 or 200. And I'm shooting with a variable ND filter as well because it was kind of sunny out. So I wanted to keep my settings where I like them, but also not have everything be blown out. And the variable ND filter from K&F allowed me to do that. And again, just remember from time to time, just show your clients or your couples the photos so they have something to continue to be excited about, to buy in. Because if they are just kind of guessing like, oh, I might look bad in this one, I might look bad in that one, then they're just gonna be kind of in a waiting game until they get the photos back. And also make sure you continue to encourage your couples, like, okay, like, yeah, right there, looks good, which I didn't really do a whole lot of today, I must admit. But do make sure you're doing that, just giving some encouragement to your couples, like, oh, nice, you look really nice, beautiful right there, just to make sure, keep feeding into them. And that's going to keep them bought in as well. And then from there, you can get referred to other people because their experience with you was great, and they want other people they know to have great experiences, and that's where your clientele is going to come from. So don't just expect to throw up a website and think everybody's going to come running. Make sure your experiences with your couples are top tier, and then the referrals will come that way. So here I wanted them walking side by side, kind of acting all rambunctious, and they weren't doing it exactly the way I wanted. So I had to step in and basically show them what I wanted. And that's something that you can do as a photographer. If something is happening and that's not exactly what you're looking for and what you want them to do, then you can step in with their permission. Make sure you ask. I can just do this now because that's my brother, but if it's just like a random couple, make sure you ask, like, hey, can I demonstrate this for you? And if they say yes, then you kind of step in and show them what you want them to do. And so in this angle here, I had to move in front of this little fountain, and I 100% forgot to move my camera and reframe it so you had a better angle. So this is the angle you're getting. But basically, as you can see, I just have them standing right in front doing something very basic. She had her leg lifted up, and I wanted that front leg lifted up because if the back leg was lifted up, it'll probably get lost in her dress. So I just wanted to emphasize that. And another thing you see me doing right now is that they're moving. So throughout your photo shoot, you want to make sure your couples are moving as much as they can, unless they're like sitting or something like that. But moving is going to keep them engaged in the shoot as well. And so this is the last scene. You see that doorway. There's a beautiful doorway with roses and different colored flowers and stuff like that. So I had them reframe to the middle because positioning and composition is going to be everything in whatever you're doing, whether it be street photography, portrait photography, wedding photography. Composition is going to be really big, and you want to make sure you're getting the right angles every time. So them being off kilter just a little bit to the right, would it still have been a good picture? Probably, but would it have been the picture? No, because they would have been off center. So I just had them center up in front of the door. There's a little awning on top, and so it made for a really nice composition. And for a lot of these, I try to get full body shots just because, you know, she's wearing her shoes there, and I think they just want to have some full body shots. And so here, again, going back to the cell phone of an idea she had as far as posing. And so I saw this one, and this was actually one that I saw Marine Photography do. And when I saw it, I was like, oh gosh, like, yeah, we definitely need to do that one. So in this one, from this angle, it's kind of hard to see, I know, but basically she's kind of facing behind, and he has his left hand around her waist and his right hand in his pocket, and then they're kind of looking at each other, and she kind of has that stale face on or smiling, and, you know, let that be that. And so this one here, I have her under his underarms because, like I said, if the arms can bend them. So him, I just feel that it made sense to have his hands in his pockets on this one, because if he was doing like a crossing his hands in front, I think it would have been weird, especially with her arms under his underarms. But, you know, that's just what I had in mind, so this is what we went with. And this is the end where I'm showing them the final product, and I'm showing them all the pictures, going through the wheel and seeing if they like it or not. And they say they enjoy it. I can't wait to see a finished product. So at this point, I told them, hey, give me a week and I'll have pictures back to you. So this was it. This is a wrap for the Valentine's Day session, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all got something out of it. If you did get something out of this, make sure you leave a like, comment, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and support me as I go on about my photography journey. So thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, until the next video, y'all be good.